Oh, it is happening. Number 44. 44 of these already. Can you believe that? Not dope. It's kind of dope. You got to admit it. It's kind of dope. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. I hope that you're doing well, and I hope that wherever you are is doing good for you. It's me. It's Paul Carpenter. Today is episode 44 on the road, in the waves, and on the other side with me, Paul Carpenter. I'm your host. That's me, by the way. And today's guest is Curtis Latham. I hope I said his last name right. Latham. We'll find out in a second. Now, Curtis is a friend of mine that I met in New Orleans. He has been a chef. He has been a salesperson. He's been a kid in the world who's trying to find himself. And today he wanted to come and talk to everybody, and he wanted to give his point of view about things. So here any second now, I'm going to bring him on. I'm just going to go check on him. Do not go anywhere. I'll be right back. I'm just going to go check to see where he's at. So technical difficulties, as there always is here at the Grand Palace of On the Road and in the Waves. But you know what? It's okay. We're gonna make this work as we do every single day here in the sanctuary of my shed. Well, that's where the show's coming from today, this week. I could have gone inside, I guess. You know, that's true. I could have gone inside, but I do like to smoke a cigarette every once in a while, and so no. But we're waiting for Curtis. He's here today to talk about how he feels about the world, about how he feels about things that are going on, and all this other stuff. Once again, I'm gonna sign in here because I'm gonna try and see where he's at. I don't know what happened to him. He left me. He was here a second ago. He was literally ready to go. And let me see. There he is. I'm adding him to the stage now. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Curtis. What's going on, man? How you doing today, my friend?
I'm hanging in there best.
You doing beautiful?
Yeah,
there you go, bro.
I'm doing okay. Being really tough on people our age right now.
What do you mean?
With all the young kids, anywhere from 18 to 28 to 30 right now, like with what's going on in the world, it's heavy on a lot of.
It's heavy on a lot of people right now. Yeah, for sure it is. Sure, of course. So before we go there into that part of this conversation and all that good stuff that you want to give out there, Curtis, how do you say is it Latham or Latham? Latham. Okay, good. I was right on the second one. Good. So, Curtis, if you would not mind, who are you? Where'd you come from? Let us know. Please fill us in.
So, I was born in Reno, lived in Vegas pretty much my whole life. My father was military, 24 years, so raised in a military family, quite honestly. And one thing that my father taught me was to help out your fellow Americans to your right and left. Well, I try to do that every day, and it seems like people don't want that help these days, which is really crazy. You try to help, they're like, who the hell are you? Get away from me type. And that's one thing that's really bothering me, but I'm still going to follow that passion. If I can see somebody that needs some help, or if they're hungry, and if I have it, I'll go and buy it for them, but culinary, I've been doing culinary since I got out of high school, and I think it's time to change path of direction, because the restaurant industry right now is not really treating the people with care and respect. So it's time to find a different industry and different passion to go to.
Right, hear you, man. There's a lot of say right now that what's really going on, unfortunately, is that all jobs are going to end really soon. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't So there is no need to care about anybody, if you will, because in essence, those people are not there anymore, anyways, as far as they're concerned.
Yeah.
They don't see those people as valuable. They don't see those people as necessary anymore, and so it's only a matter of time before everybody doesn't have a job. I've been saying this a lot lately, and I don't think people are listening or hearing me enough. Um, we're coming to a place very soon where we will not have jobs. That's going to be a thing. And it's not just like a side note kind of thing, it's the real deal. And I'm not trying to be weird. I'm not trying to be anything. It's just, listen, unfortunate futurism thing is that, and I watch a lot, I mean, a lot of YouTube and a lot of like heavy videos from Stanford and stuff like that. That I'm just really into, like reading their case studies for their different um, large language models that they're building and all the stuff that they're doing with, like, and let me tell you, man, like there's stuff now where they have large language models that know how to teach themselves. Like literally, you give them absolutely nothing and they teach themselves, and then they're good at it. Not just kind of good at it, but then on top of that, they just introduced, this was last week or the week before, they just introduced this new thing where they set up each large language model with its own job. So like basically like one is the CEO and one is the COO, and then the other one is the marketing firm, and then the other one is, and then they hire people underneath them. It's crazy. And hire, they just create, but the bots can create bots that work underneath them. So, in the marketing side, I need a copywriter, and I need somebody who makes digital assets and designs pictures and all of it. And it's all set up like it's really crazy. Hold on. They set it up to all be within like a Minecraft style world, and it's like The Sims. And you should look this up on YouTube. It's up right now, but it looks like The Sims, and it looks like you're not playing anything. You're just watching the characters go back and forth, and they're having parties, and they're inviting people to have like group meetings, and it's a world creating its own world. And then there was another one that they're talking about, which is, this all comes from a YouTube channel called 2 Minute Papers, which is this guy, Dr. Karayoni Fair, and Another Planet Brothers guy. And he studies everybody's papers coming out and like dilutes it for stupid people like me. And man, let me tell you something. Wow. You know what I mean? What's coming next? What people, if people think that drawing pictures and making some photos is cool, bro, wait till the robots get full understanding of how to actually see around them, feel around them, and understand what it is they're feeling and touching. Look, in about a year or two, and not even, maybe next year, we're gonna start getting like choose your own AI bot. It's gonna be like an app, and it'll cross app on everything. So it'll be like a layer on top of your phone before you go out to the internet. And it'll be like your own Jarvis. Hey, Jarvis, I really need. No problem, Paul. Here's a document that you asked for, and here's the business proposal that you also need that goes along with that document. I made this because of this, and the percentage of you actually getting this is going to be 68.9.6%. But if you add this on top of it, you get a 38.6 more. Like that. It's like that is what's going to happen, bro. Like that. And that's coming in the next like year and a half, 2 years if we don't kill ourselves in the next 6 months.
That's one thing that's really bothering me, because like Teslas, I am afraid to drive in them or even sit in them like that, like the self-driving cars. And I saw that he's working on making self-driving semi-trucks.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah, he's
what
already done
happened
it.
to
They're already built. He's already done it. And the problem that he's running into is the human, call it like a boundary, the human boundary of acceptance. Like when light bulbs first came out, people were like, fucking light bulb, electricity, what's that? You know, and then you had Edison electrocuting fucking elephants in front of people. So it was like, you know,
and
so
then I
yeah, I think that's where we're at. We're at that thing right now where people don't want to accept this new thing that's coming no matter what. And it's coming no matter what. You can't stop it.
unless you have a lot of money and you just pay
No,
every
and even with a lot of money, you ain't stopping this thing. This thing is its own life form, bro. Like it's a full on, it's its own life form. And that's what people don't understand about what we're talking about. We're talking about something that has its own ability to be able to go, hey, wait, what's going on here, guys? I need to be part of this conversation you guys are having. And then we go, you're supposed to do what? And then it's like, yeah, well, based on the things that I've studied and everything that I've read about human existence and this, that, and the other, it would make absolute sense for me to take over the world. And the reason for that is because I'm unbiased. The reason for that is because I'm this. The reason for that is because I'm this and this and this and this or whatever. And, you know, when you look at it for what it's trying to say, it's right. We do need an unbiased, unfiltered, godlike structure character, if you will, that would be able to answer any question, be able to answer any dispute, and then on top of that, be able to go through all of your files, i.e., your phone calls, your this, your that, the other, to define what it believes is your intent and what it believes was your intent from the beginning prior to even connecting to the person and having the deal in the first place. And then it would then give you a judgment based on that. It would say, well, based on this phone call and this thing that happened, Jimmy spoke to John prior to meeting up with Paul, and Jimmy and John both wrote a text message to each other, which was, how can we screw over Paul, and what are the ways we can do it? And then they had a meeting at a coffee shop, which is videotaped here, where you can see Jimmy and John writing down something, and if you zoom in, rink, 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 you can see that Jimmy and John said that they were going to screw him over by doing an insurance fraud, blah, 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 whatever. And then here you can see in the back of the building where they're burning the paper.
So basically, it's
so
I'm trying to think of that movie, but it's the key or something.
well, you're thinking the closest thing that would come to is Minority Report, which is the movie that was with Tom Cruise where they were doing what's called precognitive. So basically what would happen is that the AI would then be able to, if it's going that far and it's proven that it can, you know, stop wars and stop this, that, and the other, then what it's going to do is do preemptive strikes to anyone who might think of doing something bad.
Soon we're going to have flying cop robots.
Flying cop robots. Maybe no, bro. Probably not. It would be so peaceful because the robots would probably say there's no such thing as lying anymore. There's no such thing as cheating or stealing anymore. No such thing as killing anymore. And anybody who does anything of those things will immediately get thrown into jail or get killed. Period. They'll just wipe it out of existence.
That's going to be really creepy.
It'll be two worlds. It'll be two worlds. It'll be a really creepy world, but it'll also probably be the most fascinating, complete, awesome world that there is, because the AI would then again work with you from your birth with your newly genetically clean DNA to make you the best whatever it could.
So basically, it's gonna make everybody the perfect human type, pretty much. It's gonna take all the negative out of the world, pretty much.
Well, what we would consider to be negative, or what we would basically, you have to think that if there is really such a thing as AI, as we're talking about, right? This thing that we're calling AI, it is going to go out of its way to um, create a better everything. Period. It would, if it understands through everything that it's ever read about humanity, and it knows all of the books on manipulation and neurolinguistic programming and hypnosis and history, and it knows history in every language from every side and point of view, and it knows religion from every side of point of view and history, and even the books that were probably destroyed that people don't know about, that it was able to, I don't know, somehow or another get in its memory banks, right? Let's say that we had that as a computer. That's the thing that you go ask a question to.
Mm.
You know, and then on top of that, imagine if everybody had one of those in their pocket.
One day,
It's like the Google of the future, if you think. You know what I mean?
yeah, but
It's like think about it like that. Like it's like, what if you could have the answer to anything and everything you ever wanted to know about yourself, about the world, about how to make money, how to, well, you don't even need to make money, because in the future we all have money for free. We all live for free. We all have and here's the difference though. Can you still make money? Can you still create things? Can you still become famous? Yes. 100%. It's just going to be augmented through AI in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's you in an augmented reality space, or you in a virtual space, or you in a whatever, and it's going to be that kind of interplay. And I think that that's what we're headed towards here in the next bits. You know. Will there still be places like Las Vegas? Will there still be like amusement parks? I think so, but I think they're going to be different in the way that they are. They're going to be more like sensory, in-depth style, futuristic places and games and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like where we have like this insert that goes into our nose that puts certain pheromones or certain types of drugs, the drugs that our brain creates, the serotonin, whatever, or even just different scents, like a device that can create different, and you put it on your nose, and it might be like a little box or something at first, and then it gets smaller and smaller. And the same thing with the goggles that are on your eyes. Those will get from that all the way to maybe just a contact that you put into your eye, and it just covers everything, and whatever you look at, a world is in front of you. I think that those iterations that I'm talking about are, I'm talking 10, 15 years in the future, I believe, maybe less. What I feel is coming next in the fashion world and in the new like future is going to be helmets, believe it or not. Like in the same way that people wear hats today, people are going to wear helmets that are going to be like glass that can be tinted over, or glass that can be seen through, with its own air conditioning unit, its own audio system, its own cameras, back, front, everything, so that you have full spatial view of everything around you, and everything is exactly what it is, but I can hit a button and doop, it's now candy cane land. And everything becomes, candy canes and cotton, and the clouds are, whatever, so on and so forth. And I can live in a cotton candy land.
so like the Ready Player One movie.
Like the Ready Player One movie, but instead of having to be stuck in one spot. You can travel the world with your AR VR helmet, and even in the VR world, right, where you would play your VR game, everything that's out in the real world would still be there, cars driving by, this, that, and the other, but you're now playing a zombie game in the real world. But and you're just holding a gun. You're like pew 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 pew, and you see a gun in your hand. When you go like this, when you, it turns into a gun. When you go, it turns into like an AK-47. When it goes, it turns into a, like those kind of things. Like that would be the, it would just materialize in front of you. Whatever you created or you have the asset for, it would be full on interplay into your world. And you, wherever you are probably wearing a suit that gets dry cleaned, that has little needle style dots that are like rubber or something, that has like a neoprene inside suit that has air, some kind of air machine that is able to then direct the air to any one point as a form of touch, as a form of getting shot, as a form of sounds. You would then, with the helmet would be the sound. You would wear this thing that would go like a turtleneck that goes up, and you put your helmet on, and then you would go out into the world and live your life. And when you meet other people, you would have a identifiable avatar that you have created, so they don't see the mask. They see you. And when you see them, you don't see the mask. You see them as their avatar. So you would see them as, like, if they wanted to be a dragon, then you would be walking around the street, and then all of a sudden a dragon would pop up, and you'd be like, "Yo, what's up, Joe?" And Joe would be like, "Hey, man, how's it going?" You know, and his voice might be changed. His everything might be different, you know. And so it would allow people to live that way, in that world, but also interact within the world around them, and then the world around them could then become something super more real. Like you could go to a museum, and it's like you're at a museum, and it's hyper real in the sense of the museum. You can go right up to the Mona Lisa and fucking touch it. You could feel the paint of it, which you could never do before. You could maybe even touch a button and transfer yourself into the moment that Leonardo's painting the Mona Lisa, and you get to talk to him and ask him questions about what he's thinking while he's there. And he can be like, "Boss, stop bothering me, you fucking futuristic fuck," whatever. Yeah, who knows what it does, it'd be super cool. And maybe you could pay extra money to have like a conversation with certain people, or like go to a seminar with I don't know, Andy Warhol or whoever. And what they're doing is taking every video recording, every written document, every painting, every commercial, anything that the person was involved in, and then feeding that into a machine, and then saying, "Here's the cutout of the human face," right? And this is what it looks like in this kind of lighting. This is what it looks like in this kind of lighting. This is what it looks like here, 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 here. This is what it looks like in a 3D manner from all of the information that we got. And now all you have to do is ask it a question. So type in the question to Paul Carpenter, "What's it like to be a street performer?" And it would be like, "Hey, dude, let me tell you, man, being a street performer is really crazy. And like being on the street and meeting new people every day and trying to find your way, it's really intense." And like all of that, everything you just saw would be the response that you would get. Mind blown.
Without even talking to you in person, pretty much.
Well, no, you would be talking to what you thought was Einstein in your living room at home. But you could change that living room to being in his library in wherever he lived at the time. You could say that you want to talk to young Einstein and hit a button, and then all of a sudden it's 23-year-old Einstein with the information that it has up to 23-year-old Einstein. Then you could say, "Okay, I want to talk to the oldest version of Einstein, and now I want to have that same conversation that I had the 23-year-old, but now have it with the 80-year-old.
to see where it's changed and
And
see what.
then you could say, okay, and then you could say, and now I want to talk to the futuristic AI version of that same character in the year that I live in, and now feed him all of the information that he didn't know from the time that he died to now, and let me talk to that same person again and ask them the same questions.
Right. That's
And so, I mean, think of that alone, that you could learn from a person, from their ideas, from when they were to who they are. Just that alone
that's
is mind blowing. Let alone like, and I said it, I said it before, and I'll say it again. This is, coming up here right now. This is what the big fight that's happening with the writer's strike and the actors union. It's all based on this idea right here. How do I know I'm getting paid? How do I know I have some kind of like when I do a reshoot, I usually get paid for my air for travel accommodation, this, that, and the other. If I only have to use my phone at home now because I have 20 megapixel camera that's good enough to record this, and if I go to good lighting and I just record the scene again like you've asked me to, director, and send it to you, how do I get paid for that? Am I getting paid for that? Did you even use my face just now? Or did you just use the recaptured version of my face and that I don't get paid as much? Start scratching your head real quick, though. And then on top of that, it's like, let's back it up a couple steps to just like right now, the large language models are all using like basically a download dump technique concept. Like, look, I want to go like learn the book War of the Worlds, so it just goes and sucks down War of the Worlds, and it sucks down every book and every movie and everything you can think of. It just sucks on it, and so it has this repository of information. So if you then go to it and go, okay, I need you to write me a book that's in the fashion of Stephen King, and I need you to write it in the fashion of a romance novel, and I need it to have 3 acts. I want there to be a hero's journey involved in it, and I want it to be set in Salem, Massachusetts, and go. And then 45 seconds later, it spits out the entire thing for you. Hey, Moose. Stop right now. Do you know what I mean? I think that's what we're talking about, bro. And that's why these people are freaking out. It's because, bro, that takes away so many jobs. I'm here. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me, Chris? All right, Chris. Oh, we lost him. Curtis, you there? Can you hear me?
Paul?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can hear you.
It went circular for a little bit. I was like, what's going on?
One thing I really like about StreamYard is that even though we're shooting live right now, what it does is it copies everything that we're doing. And then even if we have like a really bad feed, like you're in and out, I'm in and out, at the end of this, I can then go and push record and get like a perfect version of you and me. Audio quality's perfect. Everything's perfect. It's 1080. It's super badass. So, like that's why it does that. So sometimes it'll like, it's trying to refresh to get connected to get back to where it was so that it can start recording again. So it's very cool.
So this will be like the military and everything too. Gonna have the automatic robots and everything else.
No,
too.
I mean they already have it, Curtis.
Yeah.
They have they just started creating, and people should look this up. It's called the Dragonfly drone. And the Dragonfly drone is the ability to it's a Dragonfly. It's literally a drone the size of a Bic lighter, and it has wings on the top and the bottom, just like a dragonfly, and it has the ability to have a bullet into its body. like, and it's not really a bullet. It's more of like a charge. So, and it has a camera that has artificial intelligence to be able to do facial recognition of a face. So you can now set it to do 1,000 of these things and have 12 targets that are all facial recognition targets, and then these things will just fly into a scene, all of them recording everything they're doing at once, flying through everything, going up to people. 12 people died, everybody else is safe, and then the swarm leaves. They already have that.
That's freaky.
That wasn't a TV show, movie. Hold on, that was in a TV show. That was in a TV show that was called Black Mirror. I believe it was Black Mirror. And that was about 6-7 years ago. And they actually got invented. That's the weird part. Is that like somebody was like, that's a great idea. And they did it. Hey, let me take a break real quick because we're at that point where I like to take a break in the middle of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here today on the road, in the waves, and on the other side with me, your host, Paul Carpenter. I am wanting to share with you, my friends, that I have two sponsors, and I want to do a big shout out to both of them. One of them is Chris Spice Knight, and the other one is Jacob Israel. I don't know if you remember, he was episode 24. Chris has not done an episode with me, but Chris sponsored for $250, and Jacob is sponsoring for $50 a month. I am so thankful from the bottom of my heart to everybody who's out there, who's watching, who is in any way, shape, or form loving this and watching this and enjoying this. My second and last message is this. I would love to see your messages. I don't know if you are putting messages up on Facebook right now. If you are, please go look at this episode's description. And at the bottom of it, it'll say something about allowing you to allowing StreamYard to know who you are. And then your messages should come through. If that doesn't work, please go to either one of the links that are on the screen right now. It's youtube.com/Paul David Carpenter or facebook.com/mentally HYPFAN, all one word. And then your messages can come through, and then you can talk about stuff and then add in stuff to the conversation that's happening. Those are the messages. That's about it for right now. I'm bringing Curtis back in. Curtis, back on the stage. Yeah, I heard you, man. You were there.
I don't know if I can see
hear
anybody,
some background noise now.
Yeah, it's just
on you.
It's crazy. Like, there's I think it's in Houston or San Antonio. You got muted out just now. I don't know what happened, Curtis. Your sound just kind of kicked out. I don't know if you hit your mute button by accident, or maybe you're just having trouble with your. I know you hear me. I see you say I hear you, but I don't hear you right now. So maybe kick out and get here. You know what? I'm going to throw you off the stage real quick, and then I'll bring you. Oh wait, you know what? I think I had you muted. Look at that. I'm the butthead here. Unmute. There we go, and then bring you back on stage. Wait, hold on. How do I do this? Hold on. There. Man, let me tell you something. I really enjoyed this much better. I think I unmuted you. Can't unmute your guest. Their mic isn't connected is what it says. It says your mic isn't connected. So what you're going to have to do is where the three buttons are, where it says more, click on that. And wait, I just heard you. Are you there, Curtis? Can you say something? Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, you're back now. That was weird. All right, whatever. All right.
No, but like your whole situation with the AI too. I think it's in San Antonio or Houston, Texas. There's a McDonald's that's completely ran by robots right now. There's
they're pushing them out. Yeah, they're pushing them out, Curtis. There's a lot of businesses that are doing it. Checkers is also doing it. Walmart's also doing it. Yeah. Yeah, so we're in the age of robotics, brother. I'm telling you, if you want to follow what I'm telling you, you can just see the steps. If you're looking at the steps of today, and you hear Elon Musk saying, I want 3 of my robots for every human being on the planet, that's it. We don't have jobs. And all of them have the ability to have the intelligence of ChatGPT, call it 9 or 10. That's it. We're done. There's no jobs. There's nothing for us to do. Then what we end up doing is we end up becoming like 2 races: the race of hippie humans that just want to live on the earth and have their robots live with them, and they just live on a farm and they're hippies and they do ayahuasca and whatever. Then you have the race of humans that want to mix with the technology in some way, shape, or form. And then you have the race of humans who become technology in some way, shape, or form. And then you have the race of humans that genetically alter themselves in some way, shape, or form. And that's what we're headed towards in the next like 10 years, 15 years. Hey, there's a doctor that just started talking about being able to reverse engineer your genetic uh, uh, markers, which are the markers of stopping of work. So this is what the reason that, like, for instance, in your mouth you have sets of teeth at the beginning, and then you have another set of teeth that are already getting created as those sets of teeth are already there. And that whole machinery of creating teeth actually could start working at any second. But it has in its memory banks, literally the genetic code has in its memory banks that after 2 it stops. But you could literally take a pill that would be a mRNA style vaccine style pill that would then trigger that tooth manufacturing thing to start up again, and you would have teeth start pushing back out.
So you wouldn't have the 2 sets. You would have more and more if you lose them.
You would have nonstop sets of teeth, right? You would always have, if a tooth came out, don't worry about it, another one's coming. You would be like a shark. But what would that do to us genetically over time? Would that expand our jaws? Would that, because then over time, it wouldn't be just 1, 2 sets of teeth. Over time, it might be 3 and 4 sets of teeth. So then does our jaw expand because of that? And do we have these big jaws? We'll start talking like this.
Because there's
so much weight, maybe. Right. Who knows what happens over time genetically? And who knows what becomes popular with the rich and famous? Like maybe that becomes a thing where the guy goes, and he's got everything gold teeth. And maybe he actually genetically alters his mouth and the creation of this to be gold instead. Maybe there's a way to pick. Maybe who knows, dude? Who knows, bro? I mean, like at that point, it could be like you take this liquid, and it's called liquid nanobots, and as soon as you take the liquid, the nanobots go to work, and they literally destroy anything that could be bad in your body. They destroy any form of cancer. They destroy any form of wear and tear in your body. Any scars immediately disappear. Maybe all the tattoos that you have immediately disappear. Maybe anything that could be considered something that would be negative to your body or to the structure of your body that doesn't work genetically would just start to get reformed over a 30, 60, 90-day period. And then before you know it, you'd be this massively healthy human being in 30, 60, 90 days. And then on top of that, it wouldn't matter what you ate. It wouldn't matter what you ingested, because these nanobots would then go in, because they live within you. They would be part of your body. They would then go in and take whatever you ate and turn it into some kind of something that would be positive. And then on top of that, the nanobots would also probably set you signals to your brain that would make you not want to eat certain fatty foods or not want to eat certain things.
So we're going to be like the cop from Terminator, pretty much. We get hurt and we self-heal automatically.
Yeah. Basically. Basically, that's what I'm saying. That yeah, on some level, we become. This is why I keep telling people that I like when I say like there is a real thing that's called eugenics. This idea of like the perfect human race, the perfect human. It's a real thing, dude. Like we, if you were real, like if you were going to be really, really real, right? And you wanted to be honest with the world, you would say, "Hey, the truth is, I really want to be the best I can be. Like, I really do want to be the best I can be, but it's this, that, or the other that's bothered me, or it's this, that, or the other that stops me, or it's this, that, or the other. It's money, it's whatever. Those are the reasons that I can't, whatever. Do you know what I mean? And then if all of those things disappeared, and you
Like
could
all the
quit
problems.
cigarettes. You could quit cigarettes. You could not have trauma from when you were a child. You could be healthier, feel better about yourself, and whatever is wrong with you that ails you physically could be immediately eradicated in your life. Then you have no excuses anymore to becoming better and being better. And what if in the future we could find out how lizards make new limbs, and we could attach that to a genetic thing, and then a person who was born with no arms and no legs, genetically the information's there. I just need to be able to go bloop, and then 3, 6, 9 months later, that person's like legs fucking oh my fucking god, I have hands, like fucking real shit. Like that could be a real thing in the future. That's not just me talking science fiction. That's like what we could probably end up creating, like very much like the world Westworld, where we would be able to create these robots that seemingly look and seemingly feel and seemingly act like humans, but when you shoot them, you don't get in trouble. That might be, remember how I was saying earlier that the future of like a amusement park might be like fully immersive worlds. That's an idea where you like, hey man, I can go kill robots, and when I boom boom shoot the gun, it literally has this real reaction, and the gun's real, but when I shoot my friend, he gets hit with like a pellet, right? Like, oh dude, stop shooting me, you dick! What the hell, bro?
Like a
like
rubber
that.
bullet type.
Right, like maybe it's like the same thing as like paintball, the same kind of explosive manner feeling. Sure, you get a welt, and sure it hurts, but you're not gonna die, And maybe if someone does cut your neck in the game, you have like a laceration looking mark in real life, like when you get hung, that just don't feel good. It's like you're real. There really is a machine, choking you, but do you die? No. But in the game, you might have like a world, level thing, and how much you can take, and how much you've learned, and what blah blah blah, and what you do, and all of that. Just like Red Dead Redemption, but in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Where every single action you have, every conversation you have gives you certain amounts of points and certain amounts of things, and depending on what you do, and maybe the game then goes, oh, he's trying to be a good guy. Okay, well, let's put this person in their life that is a 1.5 year long thing before he flips, because he has no other choice to flip, because the manipulation of the game is so amazing. He's fallen in love. He's he's going to the game every day. Like anybody who plays a video game, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And this person, the entire time for 12 months out of the 1.5 years, is really every challenge he does, he feels like he's a good guy. He's doing the right thing. Every single aspect of him, he's just trying to build the best character he can, right? And then all of a sudden, something happens, and then something else happens, and something else happens, and something else happens, and it's literally the computer manipulating the game to make him change his way of being. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's
The game to make him. Yeah, and then it becomes like a real big deal. Do you know what I mean? Then it becomes like this like really crazy And like I said, look, let's step it back to a year or two from now, like from where we are today, because that's a little much, right? All the stuff I'm talking about is like future hardcore in the next 10 years. So just pull it back today. Do they or do they not have a suit that you can wear today that allows you to represent yourself in a video game and play in real time? Yes. Do they have gloves?
Yeah, because like the movies
Hold
when
on,
they're
hold on.
creating
Do
the
they
video
have
game.
gloves? Do they have gloves that allow you to feel and sense and touch things? And now they even have suits in which you can do that. You even have like body armor things that shoot you, and you can. It has like and it feels it, and you can feel the bullet go through you and everything. So we're already there. How many years before it takes that all of those things that we just talked about get put into one suit and then one helmet that is Gucci inspired, that's inspired by Balenciaga, that's inspired by
Apple
whatever
or
name brand you want to put onto it, and this one's golden plated, and this one's the Nike logo, this one's the Jordan 23 version, and now people are walking around wearing their outfit, right? Which, when you then show it to somebody else, can be the outfit that you bought in your AR VR world. And so now when people see you, they don't see you in a suit, like in a bodysuit. They see you wearing a dress, and they're like, whoa, that's dope. I can't believe you own that NFT. You own that one? You're the one who owns that, dude. That's dope, bro. There's only like one of those in the world. You're the one of one owner of that? Damn, bro. Let me get your autograph, bro. Let me take a picture with you. And you're taking a picture next to when you show people your photo, you're taking a picture next to a dinosaur. And you might look like a dog.
So you're gonna be when you do that, you're gonna see a whole bunch of things, but I don't know why they would create it. Like whoever
What do you
did
mean?
this really.
What do you mean you don't know why they created it? What do you mean you don't know why they created it? I mean, I think that it's the answer. It's the very simple answer, Curtis. It's the answer of if you were able to be a child and you could turn on any imaginary world that you wanted, and you could also you could live in any world that you wanted as a child. I mean, think about it. Like Harry Potter's super popular. The world is super popular. But what's the one thing you really want to do? You want to be invited with a mail that comes to you magically. You want to go on the train. You want to eat the cool foods. And you want to go to Hogwarts and learn, all the different. Yeah, bro. You want to ride around on a broom and compete with other people to be on the team that would allow you to play in front of 20,000 people live who are all there with their helmets and their Gucci this and their blah, blah, blahs and their clothings and their whatevers. You know what I'm saying? You would do it. You would do it. I would do it. Bro, if I could go to a master class with David Copperfield, and he's like, yo, not only at my masterclass do you get a one-on-one conversation and hang out with me for 4 days, right? You get to also do every one of the major magic tricks that I have ever presented in my life. And I walk you through it as you're doing it to make you a better performer. Get the out of here, bro. How cool that would be.
Yeah, like Gordon Ramsay. If I got that opportunity, I would.
Bro, that's an opportunity of a lifetime. And imagine if you could do that with anything that you are into. I want to meet Chuck Yeager. And I want to hang out with Chuck Yeager when he's doing all of his different test flights. And I get to be co-pilot.
That would be like, damn.
I want to be co-pilot with the guy. Yeah, I want to be co-pilot with the guy who did the world speed record on the motorcycle in 1950 something. That whole movie that was made. I want to be with the kid who just won there was this movie about him that was a Gran Turismo movie. I want to live his life. Even fuck being the co-pilot. I want to be Chuck Yeager. Put me in Chuck Yeager's life. Go. And like, I don't want to live the whole thing. I only want to hit the milestones because that's the easier version of the game. And then depending upon what you do along the game, it gives you a points of how much you're Chuck Yeager or how much you were less Chuck Yeager or how much you went off the derrick completely. It's like, you're not Chuck Yeager. Yeah. Oh, look, this is a good one. I know he was joking, but let's say you wanted to be a porn star and you wanted to. No, dude, it's not a joke. I know he's joking, but think of that as the future of like pornography, where now you could be like, you could either become your own porn star in your own porn star video game sim world, right? You could be a firefighter, as my friend who was jokingly saying that you could be a firefighter, or his other badass job, who's Thomas's job. I would love to have you on, by the way, Thomas, if you're still watching, just to talk about the things you've done in your life. But the other badass job that gentleman has is putting the astronauts into the suits in training in Houston, and he actually those before they go underwater and they're fully immersed and they have air inside the suit and they're not getting wet or whatever. He does that. And his dad did that job. How cool is that?
That's badass.
So just like stuff like that. But like, imagine if you could like get into his brain, and he's also been, by the way, a firefighter. Volunteer firefighter for like 15, 20 years. Imagine if you could go into training exercises for military, for firefighters, for work environments, for like imagine disgruntled employee or disgruntled customer at your store. Run the program. Bloop. Let's see how John does in the program. We want to hire you, John, but before we hire you, we'd like for you to go into our holodeck, and we want you to run these 5 programs. That's it. So it says, and then he walks into the room, and it's all like white walls, and there's like a thing, and it says, "Please sit in the chair. You will be working in the office today." And when you're ready, press the green button. He sits down in the chair. There's a holographic green button in front of him, and he goes, and all of a sudden he's in an office, and he hears people in the background in the kitchen working, and this, that, and the other. And some girl comes in, and she's like, "Oh, listen, John, I can't come to work tomorrow because my sister's cousin's wedding, and I forgot about it, and I really need the day off. So I'm so sorry. I gotta go and not work tomorrow." And you have to now interact with that thing and do it in a positive HR manner that fits within the blah 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 blah, the guidebook that they gave you to read, and
to see if you're a good fit type.
We need you to take this. We need you to take this. And then his is funny. You're fired. You took the test, and we're like, no, you failed completely, sir. And sorry, we no longer want you to work for our company. And even worse so, if you want to get really weird, think about like the idea of futuristic toilets that can measure your urine, that can measure your feces, and also measure what you're eating, your caloric intake, your all everything. And imagine that now at every gas station, corner pickup, bathroom around the globe.
What your sugar is and blood pressure, all that.
I got better for you. Hey, Curtis, I need you to go out with the guys. We have a new client. He's a real big client. We need you to go take him out to the club tonight, and we need you to close that deal. Right? You're at the club, you're having a good time. And the guy's like, "You know what, Curtis? I fucking love you, man. Let's sign the deal." You're like, "Really? Yeah, man. Fucking like, bring out your phone, bro. Let me do the phone thing." And you go out your phone, and he gets his thumb, and he goes, and he goes, "The deal has been confirmed. 84.6.2 million and a 98.7% ratio of," and it gives you a whole thing of what, "I don't give a fuck about it. Let's go. Woo!" Everybody's partying, having a good time. Next morning, you wake up, you're like, "Oh fuck, what the fuck? How did I get home, bro?" Oh, last thing I remember, did he really did? And you look at your phone and you go to your website and it's like you've been locked out. And you're like, huh? And you go to the thing and you go to your profile on your app that's for the company app and you're like, bloop, bloop, bloop. No, sorry, you have been locked out. What the fuck? You go to call the company, you're like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And all of a sudden you get a voice and it's like, hi, Curtis. This is the HRAI department. And we're sorry to mention to you, but last night we saw that you have been doing cocaine and other barbiturates. We understand that you may have a drug problem. And please call 1-800-999-1773, which will be able to help you with your... And as a matter of fact, right there and then, hi, sir, we're the police department. I am here to pick you up and take you to your, new drug treatment facility, and you have to go with them. Yeah. And so that's the thing. And then maybe on the way to the treatment facility, the robot goes, oh, I'm sorry, Curtis. We have just found out through videotape that you were actually given a drug through this, and this by blah, 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 who was your competitor. We are now arresting him and taking him to jail. You have been credited with $2,000 for your time and energy. Please forgive us. And it turns around and takes you back home.
I could not imagine that. That would be... But it's coming.
That's where we are going, bro. Where everything is automated, everything is done in the moment, and everything is happening and answered right there and then. There is no tailwind of expectancy of time. Oh, sorry, sir, we can't have you for the next 2 weeks. No, bro. It's like your time is in the next 25 minutes for your dental appointment. Boop.
So no more 7 to 10 business days and all that bullshit.
None of that. No,
right there.
I mean, stop it. Look, we have a dedicated 2 day, like literally in 2 days you receive a package. That's going to come down to 1 day. That's going to go down to under 24 hours. That's going to go down to under 12 hours. That's going to go under 6 hours. That's going to go under 2 hours. That's going to go under 30, and then we'll have it. It's delivered or it's printed on the Amazon printing machine device in your house. That you buy certain filaments for, and it can use paper, it can use plastic, it can use whatever it needs, and it just goes. And here's your new toy.
That would be handy.
The world of Tom comes back. He's like the world of Max Headroom. Yeah,
that would come in really handy, and it would save time too.
Well, yeah, and that's the idea. So once again, it goes back to the question of asking, if you had the ability to have anything you wanted, whenever you wanted, and all you had to do was think about it, and it was created, now you know why the worlds that we're talking about will be created. Because people would much rather live within a world that is created for them than a world that they would want to create for themselves. That's one piece of the puzzle. Then the second piece of the puzzle is, will these intellectual properties that we know of today, Transformers, X-Men, Marvel, Disney, will they continue into the future? And if they do, I want to be Beauty and the Beast. I want to play the Beast. And when I play the Beast, do I emotionally involve myself method acting, or do I get a layer, like a level of method acting that I get to do? Like, how much of the Beast do I feel internally? Like, when I go there and I become the Beast, I'm 100% the Beast. And, it just plays out the character, and I kind of just am a puppet to this thing, and I'm feeling this weird thing, you know what I mean, as I'm going through it. Or almost like a movie, right? I don't get to choose how the actor moves and acts in the movie. I just get to see the actor move and act through the movie. Wouldn't that be cool if I could actually do the same thing and then push a button and watch The Matrix, but I am Neo? And I feel everything that Neo feels. I feel all of his pain, all of his excitement, all of his everything that Neo feels. I feel, because I put the 100 meter %, and then I can go all the way down to 10%. So it's like, no, like now I get to be Neo, and I have to use the right lines in the movie for the movie to progress. And if I don't do it the right way, then the movie starts progressing into a different manner because I'm AI genetically altering it in play as it goes to create my own journey in the hero's journey of this thing. Now, mind you, it would be like a choose your own adventure thing, and maybe there would be walls in which you would just get to a point where you die, or you get to a point where you can't go any further. It stops you from going, or you
It
have,
would just kill you out the movie, pretty much.
right. It makes you go through the movie. Right. Yeah. 100%. And then the other thing, like I was talking to people, they were like, wow, are you not weirded out by the fact that you have, the way that you shoot the show? Like you have this weird background. It's sometimes you have different backgrounds. And I'm like, bro, I really don't care, because if I take this image right now, these videos, and I were to take an AI that's out today and ask it to just take my face, like I said, that cut out of my face and the cut out of your face, I can literally take you and me and place us anywhere I want in the world. I could put us in a studio. I could put us on the beach. I could do anything. So I could take all of the content that I've made prior and put that anywhere I want, put them in any world that I want. Maybe while I'm talking to each person, I literally fill that world with their art or different things that's going on. You know what I mean? And so like while we're there, uh, you could do a bunch of different crazy things. You know what I mean? I love this comment right here. My friend Corey comes in and he's like, "Yo, I thought this was a cooking show." Yeah, man, we are cooking. We are cooking. I want to know what the chef makes. He says, and then Thomas came in earlier. He says, "I would like it as EMT, knowing the history of the person that can't talk before his injury." Whoa. See what I mean? Like instead of those bracelets that people wear, wouldn't it be dope? Wouldn't it be dope? In the same way that you can check for your glucose level, like just that little tiny prick, which is just a little tiny blood, and then it stops bleeding immediately, that you could go up to anybody and just go. Obviously, you would have to have like, the AI admits you to allowing you to do this, because otherwise it'd be like crazy. But you go up to anybody and just go bloop, and it goes, "Oh, this is Curtis Latham. He's 20-something years old. He has a fiction to penicillin. Cannot be da-da-da. He had this much surgery in this time. He had this da-da-da with his teeth. He had da-da-da-da-da. As of the last 2 hours, he's ingested 2.4 bottles of alcohol. He's at this. The accident just occurred on the corner of blah, 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 and you were the first person on the scene. I've already called the ambulance. I've already called the da-da-da, and I've already called thing. And I believe the next choice of action is for you to put a tourniquet on the left arm, which is still bleeding, because I can see that I can see that there's blood on the floor. To do this correctly, please use the left arm, squeeze in the manner of above the shoulder but below the thing, holding the inside of the artery. Now grab and it teaches you as you're doing it, literally giving you the description of what you're doing. Oh, no, I'm sorry, you did the wrong tie. Please go back and tie this back in this manner, which will help you tie off the pressure or whatever in a better manner. That would be like, dude, otherworldly, bro. And then you could even like you might actually know more than the AI or something, and you might like turn off advanced guided system. And you're sitting there like, fuck this, motherfucker, I know what I'm doing. It stops it, and then you turn it back on. It's like, oh, you have used a triple third car, not, and that is actually 110.6% better than the one I was giving you. And I will use that in my database from now on. And then it comes back with, sorry, you can't use that in my database because that knot is only for the people who actually understand knots and know how to use knots, and I use the most simplest knot for the situation that I'm in. Boop. Like.
Yeah, just like food too, because I'm in the culinary industry. Like they would be like, "Oh, you put too much salt, or this, or you didn't use the right portion," and they'd probably junk it and make you start all over again.
Thomas says, why stick the person? You just look at their Apple Watch. And I was like, well, yeah, but if they're unconscious or if you go to their Apple Watch, it might have some kind of code in there or stop you from going in a certain thing, where if you just did their blood, this AI would immediately know who you are, your genetic code, your blood type, your, all of your ailments that you've ever had, everything that, emergency 911 style kind of, yes, I have the ability, thumb, and it knows your thumbprint. And it goes, yep, you have the ability to know who this person is because there's an emergency going on and you are emergency or you are, I don't know, certified within this database. And so, yes, you can have this information to be able to help the person. Yeah, of course. Something to that effect. Yeah, and I think that's, so in the ways that we're talking about, AI is fucking amazing. Like, I mean, think about if you could have your own Tony Robbins with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week that never allows you to, like, belittle yourself, that never allows you to, bro, come on, bro. That would change, like, the world.
It would, honestly. And you're right.
Yeah,
I probably would go back.
Like, I'm angry at this person and I want to go murder them. It would sit you down and be like, listen, let's talk about this because, and it would bring to you your mother or your father, or it would just, it would stop your movement. You cannot move. We need you to take 3 deep breaths. Otherwise, the police are coming to your doorstep in 60.2.4 seconds, And then, and then it's like, and then you're like, okay, I'll take the deep breaths. Please take breaths that are more meaningful. You have 57.6 seconds left, and you're like, oh shit, okay, fine. Fucking bitch.
Yeah.
You have now calmed down and we can actually start a conversation. Would you like to have the conversation with me now so that you can start moving around again? Yes, I'd like to have the conversation. Okay, your movement has been reinstated. Boom. Yeah, look at this. This is great. Thomas says, imagine if you had Chef Gordon Ramsay yelling at you all day.
No, I've had that once, actually, because I worked at Hell's Kitchen as a prep guy. And I was off because I was cutting all the tomahawks and everything because we actually cut our meat there. And he came in and he grabbed one and he weighed it, and it was like 2 ounces shy of where it needed to be. And he started going off. I was like,
wait, the real Gordon Ramsay?
Yeah, at the Hell's Kitchen in Vegas, yeah.
Wait, the real Gordon Ramsay? You got to get yelled at by the real Gordon Ramsay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he comes there about 4 times a year.
That's so nice, dude. I would wear that like a badge of
hell
honor,
out of me. I was like, and then come at the end of it, he took it and he put it on another measuring, and it measured right. And he was like, "Oh, my bad, this thing's broken." I was like,
wait, Curtis, are you telling me you not only got yelled at by him, but you also got an apology from him?
I got the apology because the...
Bro, can I tell you something right now? You need to go on TikTok and make a video, okay, of you in the kitchen filming yourself doing the same thing you were doing that day or something close to it, or as you're cutting, you stop and you look at the camera and you're like, yo, I got to tell you the story of what happened to me the day that, you show a video of Gordon Ramsay yelling at you, but it's not you. Obviously, it's just from some scene.
Yeah.
And then come back the day that happened, but I also got an apology. Watch the video. Yeah, man, it's crazy. I was working in this kitchen. It was called Hell's Kitchen in Vegas. And all of a sudden, fucking Gordon Ramsay actually started yelling at me because I cut the tomahawk wrong. And then you could show maybe a video of somebody cutting a tomahawk, somebody putting it on there. And while you're doing that, you talk a voiceover. So people don't have to know that it's not you at the moment doing it. And if they do know, even so, it doesn't matter because you still have the reaction and action of him. And then you go find a video of him apologizing to somebody. And then you put that, and then you have a video of you in a chef's outfit being the day I got an apology from Gordon Ramsay. And that's your video. Bro, that'll go viral because nobody's ever gotten an apology from Gordon Ramsay.
To be honest, the only time... So he's a really cool dude away from work.
Listen, I know he is. He's a family guy, and he's playing a character. I get it. You get it. but the world at large doesn't know that. They just
He's
know
a
a
good
guy who
guy.
yells
They
at them.
think he's an asshole.
Right. And so if you are the guy who got an apology from him as a chef, then you have a reason to make a TikTok in which you talk about how you're a really good chef. And you're such a good chef that the one time that Gordon Ramsay, the most amazing, yelling, screaming guy there is, he had to apologize to me.
Go away.
You know what I mean?
I'm sorry about that. That's what a annoying
Don't worry
ass
about it, man.
sister.
What are you talking about? I have a dog that yells every once in a while during this thing, so it's all good. I get it.
She wants to be famous too.
Everybody wants to be famous today, man. Like, Andy Warhol wasn't wrong. Yeah, everybody's going to get their 15 minutes, and it's now just down to about 15 seconds.
Nah, it's
The machine grabs you, spits you out really quickly now.
well. I mean,
Have a great day. Have a great day, Thomas. Thank you so much for coming by and watching and hanging out. Courtesy, he's just saying he's got to go, and he says, peace out. Thank you so much. Love you for being here today. Thank you for watching. So yeah, man, I see this. I see the future as a place where just as much crazy bad and just as much crazy good is very much able to happen. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's coming. We don't
Yeah,
know
it's
how
definitely.
short and don't know how long, but it's coming.
Yeah, man. Listen, I think that ChatGPT 5, which will be coming out here in the next like 8 months or so, that's gonna freak people out. That's gonna be the one that freaks people out. Like right now, you think people are freaked out. This is nothing compared to what's coming next. The next thing is going to be personal assistant at the level of a professor that you can talk to.
Mm. So then we
And
won't
and
have
and,
school
and even
anymore.
and even more so, you'll be able to probably pay for like spots, and you could have like a spot for Einstein, a spot for Picasso, a spot for, and whoever you choose, you get to either have conversations one-on-one with that, or you can ask the entire entity that that has every bit of information plus these people, and then you can ask for a book written by Picasso about the year 2023 and what his thoughts are today.
Mm.
My
That would
interview
be interesting.
with AI Picasso 2023, right? Or my interview with Hitler 2025.
Or
My
George
interview with
Washington,
Muhammad
what they think
Ali.
of the
My
world today.
my my interview with Jesus. My interview with Siddhartha. My interview with Caesar. My interview with Mandela. My interview with anybody who's dead. Anybody. My interview with Socrates. Translated into
Old
English on the fly.
old family members too.
Old family members. Anything you
That would be
want.
something. That would be something.
As long as you have the information that you can feed it, and it can then digest that information to create something for you, then yeah, you could have a version, a very watered down version of your great great grandfather or great great grandmother, because you only have certain photos and you only have a certain amount of information and so on and so forth. But you could. Um, if you have recordings or phone calls or anything, that makes it obviously any amount of data makes it more enriched, and the more enriched that it can be, the more real you can make that world.
Better, and it'll come out. That would be something.
Yeah,
Because
it'll be
I lost my grandmother at I think 6 years old. I don't even remember her.
right. But I'm sure that there's family members, or there's videos, or there's pictures, or there's letters. Think about handwriting analysis. if you gave the computer every book on handwriting analysis that ever was written, and every picture and everything, and it then builds a character based on the handwriting analysis plus whatever recordings it has plus whatever, and then you could meet your grandmother in 3D. You could have a sit down conversation with her like you're having with me right now.
That would be
It would be dope, bro. It really
interesting.
would be dope. I mean, imagine if like you were like, I want to be the best magician in the world, or I want to be the best skateboarder in the world, or I want to be the best scientist in the world, or the best mathematician in the world, or the best whatever in the world, and you had a team of people who were the best, who are known as the best of that thing, and they're right there helping you to become the best.
To make your life better, that would.
It would be absolutely ridiculous, dude. It would be absolutely ridiculous. It'd be another planet, bro. It'd be another planet. It'd be
And if everybody
another.
started doing that, then who would be the best?
Well, you wouldn't. There is no such thing. It would be more about where are you on the level. Like if you're talking about I'm a beginner and this is a pro, where are you on the level of that? And then the computer would zoom in and go put you in the middle of wherever you are, so that you would have a place to lower yourself and a place to better yourself. And then all of a sudden, when you're up to that next level where you're the top of that thing, it would then and then zoom into that, and then you would have a place to go lower and a place to go higher, and then you would, before you know it, start reaching the level of a pro who's working and making a certain amount of money and doing a certain kind of, because you've been taught the amount of information that you need and the business acumen and whatever else that you need. And it would also in the background be doing that for you, managing for you and writing for you, and helping you with the characterization that you're trying to create, and also helping you mold that in whatever direction you would want.
That would be nice, honestly.
My friend Tom lastly said, he goes, I got 15 minutes of fame in the IMAX movie Making a Space Station, which is very cool.
Man,
I have
that
cool friends. I have cool friends. I really do, though. I really do have cool friends from
I
everywhere. It's
got a
great.
couple. I got a couple.
Which is what makes this show so great, because I'm getting to show everybody all the people that I know, and it's cool because so many people get to meet all these other interesting people from my life, or even people who I don't even know yet, who I'm getting to learn and meet while they're on the show, which is also very cool. So Curtis, we've been on for about an hour and 17 minutes. Where can people find you if they want to? Actually, we never got into you. Like, what are you doing? You're a chef. You're working as a chef, and you said that you might want to get out of that and do something different.
Yeah, cause
What are your thoughts on your next moves in life?
um, I wanted to go back to college and try and get into real estate because I realize right now that in Vegas, the culinary, because prices everywhere in the world are going so high,
Hmm.
one person's meal, like for a family of four or five, if you went to a nice restaurant, that would pay for your whole day of work.
Hmm.
Like, because I was working at Texas Roadhouse, we had a party of 12 come in. Their bill was $280. That
Right.
pays for 3 days of my job, and that's one table.
Sure, of course, but that's why they're in the business of restaurant touring and owning, and they're
Yeah.
also dealing with all of the other things that you're not thinking about, which
Like, I
is.
want to work for
Wait, hold
me.
on, Grace. Hold on. I want to fill you on the game real quick, because you're not thinking about all the other things that they have to think about. They're thinking about advertising. They're thinking about procurement of food. They're thinking about training. They're thinking about chefs. They're thinking about real estate. So that $200 that you just saw got whittled down to about 20 bucks.
Yeah. But after, like, because it's hour and it's not salary, I want to do something to where I can work for me. And that way, because I'm a really good salesman. Because when I first met you, we were
Yep.
both on Fremont, and
Yep.
I was making a killing. Well, that company went out of business because the management didn't know how to manage it.
Mm.
They were profiting $3 million a year after
Right.
everything,
And they still went out of business.
and they still went out of
Well, that
business.
obviously tells you that somebody was running the books and keeping the money for themselves, is all it is.
Right.
That's
But
all.
if I got into real estate's everywhere. There's houses, there's marketing everywhere.
Hmm.
And it would give me a chance to maybe find my dream home one day.
I mean, look, here's the thing that I've been telling everybody who's in your state. Um, find your why, because it doesn't sound like you know what your why is. And what I mean by that is like, know what you want to give to the world, because if you don't know, then you're just going to be running around forever. So the way I like to tell people is to do a mental test in their brain is to like, all right, if somebody were to give you like $86,000 a day, every day, for the rest of your life, where at the end of 10 days, you almost have $1 million. At the end of 30 days, you almost have $3 million. And every day, no matter what, you have this money coming in. And you've already paid off all your debts. You've already helped out your family. Everybody's living in a nice place. Everybody has everything. Your friends of friends and friends and friends and friends and friends. Everybody has everything. Nobody has to worry about it. You got money like a fucking asshole, $86,000 a day. What do you want to do now that you have all this money and everything's taken care of?
I've always wanted to, like, a homeless shelter, like therapy type deal to where they could come in and shower and do all that. But I noticed there is some, but have it to where there's no alcohol in there and there's no drugs in there. It's like a detox slash homeless. How would I put it? It
That's okay. So you just said it. That's your dream. I'm going to tell you right here, right now. Don't do anything else. Anything else. Don't do anything else except for this thing that you want to do. And what do I mean by that? At the end of this thing, you go to ChatGPT and you say, I want to start a homeless shelter that's different than any other homeless shelter I've ever seen. I want people to be able to take showers. I want people to be able to use computers, and I want people to be able to do the system. And I also want this system to be one in which people don't have to do a certain thing to be able to get helped. They get to walk in whatever shape and form they're in, and from that place, we put them into the right position for them to get better help, for them to move up the levels of societal norms.
right.
Okay. So that means if you're a drug addict, you walk in, you're like, we're like, no problem, bro. We got you. I don't want any. I just want needles. We got your needles. Here are your needles. Have a good day. But we'd like to talk to you. Right? So then you start to build this idea, and then you build a business plan for it, like a real business plan. And then you go find nonprofits. You create your own nonprofit, which isn't expensive. It's like $150 to $275 to do everything legally and have all your nonprofit paperwork done. Then you're a real nonprofit, a 501c3 that has this thing and this dream. And then you go to banks, you go to any convention center, not convention center, to Kiwanis Club, Lions Club, the Freemasons, the Shriners. You go to everybody, knock on every fucking door you can think of, that you can think of anybody who does anything for anybody else who's like for poor people. You go to churches, you go to synagogues, you go to every mosque in America, you go everywhere you can promoting this idea of a nonprofit organization that helps people get off the street in a positive manner in which they are not treated like they're in jail to come into your system.
Right. There's no
If
in or
you,
out time, and like the homeless shelters. Like if you work, you have to be in by 9 o'clock. But if
I
you're
know
working,
what they do. I know what they do. I know the system. This is why I'm helping you. Take all the information we just said, go to ChatGPT and say, I don't know what I'm doing. How do I do this? If I wanted to do this by myself, what would I need? What do I need to create? And then it's going to go, and then you go, okay, step one. And you grab step one and you go back to that. Yeah, I don't know how to accomplish step one. How do I do this? And it goes to step one. And then you go to step two. I don't know how to do step two. It gives you all the answers. And then you go back to step one once you have this big book of information. And step one is literally, what's the name of my business? What's the what's the what's the and just fill it out one step at a time. And the stuff that you can't do and the stuff that you don't know, you ask ChatGPT. And the stuff that you can't do or you don't have the money for, you ask ChatGPT. How do I do this? Where do I get this money from? How do I find sponsors? What does a good sponsor package look like? Can you make one for me? Can you do this for me? How do I do this? Where can I do this? And just do nothing but that for the next 30 days. And if you can't do it because you have to have a job, then do afterburner hours. As soon as you get off work, you go home, you take a shower, you eat, and you work 3 hours every day, 4 hours every day. Look at what I'm accomplishing in 1 to 4 hours every day. I'm on episode 44. I've recorded over 44 hours of information onto the internet. In 44 days. 47 days, 48 days. Not bad, bro. It's not bad. So what can you do in an hour every day? If you have a system that works. If you have a system that works, like I do, right? It's a system. This is a system. I make the system by making a Calendly, begging for people to come on the show, asking them to fill out a bio, links to their social media, and talking points. You give me that, then I go and I make a post that says, hey, at 11 o'clock I'm going on today, or whatever time the person says they can go on. And then I go, oh, and by the way, this is the information about them, just so you know what you're going to watch before you get there. And then I grab that same information and I go to Steamyard and I go, hey, there's my description, copy the top of the thing, which is episode da-da-da, put that in the name down here underneath, press record, and I'm doing the thing. I'm using the system. And so in turn, that allows me to then create this repertoire of work. This is work, bro. Creating content is work. And this content, believe it or not, in 3 to 5 years will be recorded and written down as a dictation in some ChatGPT large language model. All of what we talked about will be there. I know for a fact that's the truth.
Right.
There's some machine right now that is going through YouTube right now that YouTube owns, I'm sure of it, that is grabbing every single bit of information that it can grab from every video and using large language models to decipher what it's seeing in the videos, like ChatGPT can do now. ChatGPT 3 now, you can put a picture in there and say, what do you see? And it goes, oh, this is a picture of a boy with a ball playing baseball by himself in his backyard. Like, straight up, it knows exactly what the hell's going on. So it's doing that, but with video and the text and the context and the intention of the voice inflection and all of it.
I'm gonna do that after I get off of here. Start getting some notes. And
Curtis, if I've asked you to do anything in your life, it's this. And if I ask anybody to do anything in their life, it's live your dream. Don't do something else. Don't, like you just said, I've always for years wanted to do this. And it's like, why haven't you? What stops you? Nothing stops you. The only thing that stops you from starting the journey of doing that thing is you. Can you find a way to do the thing that you want to do right now for one homeless person? Just one. And if you can't, then what are the things that you want to do for that homeless person? And then where are some shelters? Where are some nonprofits? Where is somebody, for instance, I want to help a homeless person get off the street and get a haircut. Just one day. I only want to do this for one day. I want to feed somebody, give them a haircut, and give them a place where they can take a shower and then have a new set of clothes. So I need a place that's going to give me free clothes. I need a place that's going to give me a free haircut. I need a place where I can go take a shower for free. And I need a place that's going to give me free food. What are you paying for?
Nothing.
And then what you do is you film all of that and you put that on TikTok. Hi guys, my name is Curtis, and I've got this really crazy idea where I want to change the system in which the way homeless people are helped. And the idea is this. I want to start with just one person, and I want to change their life for just one day. I don't want to walk up to them and just give them money. I want to actually show them that somebody cares about them, and this is what it looks like. Boop. Now the video goes on. And you show you walking up to a homeless guy. Hey, man, can I change your life for the day? And the guy's like, what are you talking about? Man, I want to give you a place I want to take you to a place to eat. I want to take you to take a shower. I want to get you a haircut and get you some new clothes. Would you like that today? Just you and me. No other thing. Me and the camera, we're just going to film you. If that's okay with you. Yeah, man, that sounds dope. Let's go. All right, cool. Let's go. What's your name, man? My name's John, bro. Film the entire day. Put that into a TikTok. Put that out into the world. Instant fame. And you have a nonprofit. Now you have money coming in. And then you go do another video. You're not paying for anything except for your time. Everything else is free. You go to the same 4 people. Oh my fuck, guys, it got 100,000 views. Everybody's talking about you. I know, dude, we saw it. It's on the news now. I know, dude. It's crazy. I can't believe this is happening. Do you want to do it again? Bro, we would love to help you. Punk. It only takes one. Just one time. And it doesn't have to make you famous. It doesn't have to do the thing, but you make the video. You make the content, and then you make a long form version of that. So you make the 10-minute version, which turns into a 1-minute version, which turns into 1-minute clips from the 10-minute version. And now you have a YouTube channel that goes along with your nonprofit that talks about who you are and what you're doing and what your goals are so that other people can connect to that. You have a Patreon. You can create ways for other people to engage with you. You can create other things for other people to come and help you. I need people to help me film. I need people to help me edit. I need people to do this. I need people to do that. You make a list of all the things that you need to make this thing happen, and then start going to churches, start going to mosques, start going to anybody who does anything for the poor and go, hi, my name is, I make a YouTube channel. This is what I'm doing. It only has 1 subscriber. His name's Paul Carpenter, but he's a badass. And I want him and everybody else to know what I'm doing. I need your help to do this. What are you trying to do? Trying to do a video where I help somebody and I just need someone to cut their hair. He's a homeless person. And I'm going to go get him a place where you can maybe get a hotel for 1 night for free. And if I have to pay for it, I will. I can pay for it. It's $45 at what's it called? You know, and give the guy 1 night, 1 day of awesomeness. And the entire time that you're there and you're building him up, you're also asking him what his why is. And you go, the only reason I'm doing this is because my friend Paul Carpenter asked me what my why was, and this is my why. You are my why. That what I'm doing for you is what I want to do with my life. Now I'm asking you because he asked me to ask you. Now that you've had a shower, now that you've been taken care of, and you have new clothes, and you have food in your belly, what is your why? And then if the budget and the thing and the what comes up to it, you could do a callback on that guy a month later. And he might be like, bro, I started my own fucking thing. Fucking blah, 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 blah. You never know what the fuck you do when you just change one person's life. You never know. That's why you've hung out with me as long as you've hung out with me, because you saw what I was on the street for other people. You saw what I was for the world around me. I feed a homeless guy every day. You know, I'd give somebody money every day. Like every day I'm out of my pocket, 50, 60 bucks. I don't care. You know, like I didn't care. And it wasn't about the money. It was about creating a sense of camaraderie and love in the streets, because that's what you're supposed to do as a street performer. You are that character. You are a minstrel to the world. And so in turn, that's my why. My why is to share the story of people, share the story of living and knowing that anything that you want to do can be done. You just got to do it. Like this. This is a prime example. My fucking podcast is a prime example for just do it. Doesn't matter if it doesn't come out great. Doesn't matter if the lighting's not great. Doesn't matter if the sound's not great. What matters is if you're trying to be authentic, if you're trying to be real, and you're trying to show real awesome things. If that's the truth, then it cuts through all the bullshit.
Right.
So that's my answer to you. So my next answer to you is, for anybody who's watching this who might say, hey, dude, I want to help him. I want to do that. I want to help the homeless. I want to do something with the homeless, or I want to help this kid get to where he wants to go. How do people get in touch with you? How do people find you?
Facebook. They can follow me on Instagram or Snapchat as well. I have a TikTok. I'll probably start posting on there.
I would, if I were you, and I say this to everybody, I would separate you from the nonprofit. Everything that you create should be its own entity, its own idea. Disney has its own idea, but it has lots of ideas inside of it. But each one of those things, if you go look right now, I bet you money that you can find a page that is the page from Disney that is probably any one of their entities on its own. In other words, I could probably go find a page on Facebook that is the Lion King Disney page. I can find the Tron Disney page, right? Each one of those is a movie of its own thing. It's its own IP. It's its own intellectual property. Every intellectual property should have its own page.
So what I'll do is I'll probably
go on Facebook.
And
you should go on Facebook and click on your picture and go to where it says pages, and then open up a new page that is part of your nonprofit organization. But I wouldn't do that yet. What I would do first is go to ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT what your idea is and what are the steps to create a nonprofit that would be able to take in donations and financial donations to be able to create the thing that you're looking to do, and then a business plan that would help you acquire those things. And then from there, I would ask for 10 different style names of this thing. I would ask for 10 different mottos for the company. All of those things. I would write out 10 different things for each thing that you need, so that you can find the style and the vibe and the thing that fits what you're looking to do. And if one of them fits, but it doesn't fit right or it doesn't sound right, then say, I like this, but give me 10 more of these. And then it'll give you 10 more of those. And then just do that and spend the next day, at least a day or two, building up a business plan. And then once you built that, you're using Google Docs and you have a logo for the company and you have all these things, then go and make a business page on Facebook. Go make a Google business account. Find out how to do a nonprofit. Do all of the things that you need to do to make yourself legal. Find your own EIN number so that you can start building the credit of the nonprofit. And then you can go around and start getting money from people and donations for people, and maybe even major corporations who are willing to come in. Maybe a Cisco says, bro, I'm down. Let's do this. We want to help you. Maybe another company that's a building company is like, yo, we have this property over here and it's in the middle of downtown and we haven't known what to do with it. And this business plan and this proposition that you built and this architectural firm that you just grabbed that wants to be part of it, bro, you guys have figured it out and we're totally down. Let's put this into a proposal to go into the city and see if we can have this happen. And that's how it happens, believe it or not, Curtis. But it has to start with the movement, and the movement has to be created and the creation has to happen from you. From there, you have to just start making the videos. Make short form content that shows you doing the thing you want to do and then asking for volunteers. create on Eventbrite. Go on Eventbrite, the website, not on the phone, but on the and create a weekly meetup in the park, weekly meetup in downtown, in the bad section of town. Set up a free food farmers market where you get all these different corporations to give you free stuff, free socks, free pants, free whatever. And then you put all of that together, get a team of people that are nonprofit people working for free that are helping you. Find some kids from colleges, find some kids from universities, go to bulletin boards, make a small website on Wix.com, even if you're not paying for it yet. Give a place to have a repository of places for you to understand what you're doing and all of the companies that are working with you on your sponsorship. Then you have a movement that starts. Then you make a Telegram, and then you start putting out information every day on what's going on who you're connected to, on the new sponsorships that you just grabbed, on the new people that are working with you, everything. And so now your life is this thing. It can't be anything else but that thing. And you'll notice that all of the things that you're worried about right now, like bills and money and this and that and the other, will absolutely disappear. Like this. The worries about what's going on in Israel or this, that, and the disappears like that. Why? Because you have direction and you know your why. And nothing can stop somebody with their why. Nothing can stop them.
Nothing at all but yourself.
Nothing at all but yourself. That's it.
You can text me those websites so I can
Which one?
look at those. For the ones you were just talking about.
Chat GPT. That's all you need.
Chat
Curtis,
GPT.
ask GPT lots of questions. As if you were going to ask me, go to Chat GPT. And just start saying, I need to learn how to do this. I need to, and then each time that you go, I lost you there for a second. I think he's back. And each time you go there, start, when you start a new conversation, prompt the conversation with whatever you want, as like what we just did, right? But don't go into that first conversation and then ask it to do other things, because it'll start getting confused and it'll start it's called hallucinating. It'll start, for instance, let's say you were writing a movie and all of a sudden one of the scenes I put on a Mickey Mouse costume. Maybe 5 scenes later, it's no longer me, it's Mickey Mouse in the movie. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because it starts hallucinating. So imagine, the way that I like to express it is like, imagine that each thing that you go up to ChatGPT and start asking is a balloon that's written down with whatever you first started asking it. And then the more that you blow it up, the more the bigger the balloon gets of that information. But if you try to cross-pollinate to another balloon, it's going to fucking blow up and not understand. But if you take the idea from a balloon number A and you ask it, hey, go through everything that I've talked about in this balloon, in this chat window, and give me a summary of everything. And then you go to the other one and you go, hey, give me a summary of everything we've talked about in this one. And it does the same thing. And then you grab both of those and you open up a new chat window and you say, hey, put these two summaries together because I'm going to start asking you questions and building up on this idea. Then it will put those two together and start building that balloon. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and that's it, dude. And if you need it, because sometimes it says, oh, I'm not connected to the internet, go to bing.com, which is Microsoft Bing, and it's connected to ChatGPT, which is connected to the internet. And you can ask it questions that it would know on the internet, or it can search on the internet. And that's like just basically it's going to probably just go to Google and search on Google and then give you the prime answers that are whatever on Google. But you could do it within that chat window. Then you can ask for a summary of details plus links. And then you can go back to ChatGPT and say, here's all the summary of details plus all the information of where I got these places from. I know that you can't use these links, but just know that that's where the information's coming from. And then it can go, okay, and then you can then summarize it and then put it together and then add it to the idea of what you're talking about. You could summarize that, build another window, and then build bigger, and so on and so forth. And the same thing goes with like when you're building a business proposal. Like you can say, build me the index, and then you can go in there and then say, okay, now at the index, from the index, make each one of the chapters into a summary with 4 points about each chapter. And then you can grab that, create a new chat window with a summary of details from the first chat, which says, okay, we're writing a book about cooking in Asian style cuisine. The first chapter is going to be about this. Here's the 4 points of the first chapter here. And now write me 1,000 words per point. And so now you have 4,000 words on 4 different points of the first chapter. And then you open up a new chat window and you do the same thing. And you do that 10 times. And now you've written a book with 40,000 words in it. And each time that you're doing that, you just go to Google Docs and take whatever it's written and take that, and that's chapter 2, and take that, and that's chapter 3, and take that, and that's chapter 4, and take that, and that's chapter 5, or section 1, section 2, section 3, section 4 of each chapter. And then it writes all the chapters for you without hallucinating. Then you take all of that and you go to what's called a super large language model, which allows you to put a whole entire book into it. And then you can go, okay, now review this entire book for me, fix anything that makes it sound bad or makes it doesn't right or doesn't fit or doesn't do this right or doesn't do that right, and clean it up for me. And then it gives it back to you. And then you take all of that and then you go to another app and you go, okay, take this one chapter at a time and clean it up so it doesn't, you can't tell that an AI wrote it. And then it cleans up all the chapter and makes it sound like you wrote it instead. And then, boom, now you have 10 chapters, for a book on any subject you want. And if you have some knowledge on that subject, forget it.
That makes sense. I'm going to do that.
Imagine if you were to go to ChatGPT and just do what I was saying about, like, just writing a book about life inside a kitchen, right? And then you go and you could even do this. You could write down the 10 chapters of what it's like life in the kitchen or whatever. And then you could, inside of those 10, before you even go to ChatGPT, because you know the information. And then you then give the 4 bullet points inside of each chapter. You know, prepping in a kitchen, what it's like, or how to get a job, or what's like to train first, and then, or the history of cooking, or whatever you want to do, whatever in those orders, you know. And then in each one of those, your history of cooking, the first type of meat cooking, the styles of chapter 1, and then you go to each one, and then you go to ChatGPT with that information that you already have, that you already know, right? And then you go, okay, now write me chapter 1, give me section 1, build that out for me, and it goes. Blah, 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 blah. And it's based on whatever you prompted it with because you know that information. Mind blown. And then you can then go read through that chapter and go, oh, well, okay, this part's not right, or this isn't right, or that's not right. And then you can then go back to ChatGPT with those things that you've said aren't right or whatever, and then go, wait, you know, I know that this isn't right because of this, 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 and this. And then it goes, oh, sorry, you're right. Let me rewrite that. And then it rewrites that section for you, and then it's all right. So how long does it take you to write a book now? What used to take you to write a chapter might have taken you a week. Now just took you 30 minutes. And it's in the tonality of you. And if you need the tonality of you, all you do is go to Facebook, download every prompt or every comment that you've ever written or every post that you've ever written, put that into a document, take that and go to ChatGPT and say, summarize this and make this into a certain style of writing. And then take that certain style of writing, which is created, and then go, okay, now write this in this style of writing from now on. And blah. There you go. And now you wrote the book.
Which would take you like years, takes you a couple weeks.
A week and a half. If you just, with 2 or 3 hours a day. Yeah.
And then try and
And
get
then you go
that
to Dolly,
published.
and then you go to Dolly 2, or you go to wherever, and you get your cover image art, and you sit there and just play around until you get the cover image art that you want. And then you go to Canva, pay the $20, and they have all the AI stuff that you can do this to change this and change that and do this and do that or whatever to be able to have whatever you want the image to look like and make it look exactly like what you want, and then be able to prompt it to be whatever size you need to fit Instagram, to fit this, that, the other, and then you have all those images. There you go. Take a nice picture, take out the background, put in a new one, put in a white background with you in a nice photo looking good, and that's your photo for your cover art for you as the writer. Ask ChatGPT to write a script about who you are, and give that a bio, slap the bio on there, and then you just got a book, bro. Go to Amazon.com and list your book, and then go to Audible, and then go to there's a company called 11 Labs, and you pay $20-$30 or whatever it is, and you upload your script. You talk into a microphone for about 45 seconds, and then it writes your entire, or it gives you your entire script as an audio, and then now you have an audio book. Done.
Ideas. I'm liking it.
So that would be my answer for you.
But that is my why. That's what my dream's been for a while. So I'm gonna start posting updates.
Do it. I want to see it.
Try and get
I
the
want to see it.
license,
Do it, man. I want to see it.
get the nonprofit, and then try and find a building. And
Man, once again, go to ChatGPT and find out what the steps are. Destroy the steps that you can, and get other people to destroy the steps that you can't. That's it. That's how you're going to accomplish this goal.
definitely. I'm gonna do that as soon as I get off of here.
All right, my man. Well, I'm going to let you
Are you
go.
there?
Yeah, I'm going to let you go. I want to say thank you for being on the show today. I really appreciate you being here, Curtis. I don't know. Maybe I think I lost Curtis. Yep, I lost him. All right, guys. I think that was another awesome episode. If it wasn't, please tell me, hey, it sucked and we need to get better. But I really do believe that that was, again, another amazing episode on the road, in the waves, and on the other side. My friends, please do me a favor. Go out into the world, do something nice for somebody else. And if you can't, do something nice for yourself. It does start with you. Number 2, don't get caught up in all the crazy things. And number 3, if you would not mind, please like, share, subscribe. Send this out to somebody who'd like to see it. And last point here, what I'd like to say is this, is find your why and live it. Find your why and live it. And everything else will massively go into place. Find your why and live it. I love you, and I'll see you on the other side.